Hello, Internet. It is I, the Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. After a 1 week hiatus, we are back, and we are back with a bang, I guess, with Monster Hunter. So we're gonna go over the pros and cons for Monster Hunter. So yeah, let's do this. Pros. Well, Monster Hunter, the movie, is based off the video game franchise of the same name by Capcom. Personally, I've never played these games, but I do know the franchise is very popular. The most recent game, Monster Hunter World, is the highest selling game in Capcom's history. So it obviously has a fan base. And under normal circumstances, I feel a decent, I wouldn't say a huge amount of that fan base, at least a decent amount would at least watch this out of curiosity, not because they think it's good, just to see how it is. But yeah. So obviously the IP is popular. So that's pro number one. Pro number two. Um, well, it's more of a pro slash con. Is that this is a video game movie. Now, normally the video game movie is just a recipe for a disaster, has been proven many times, and we'll get to some of those examples when we get to the cons. But recently, Detective Pikachu and Sonic making money and being liked by the general public. So I feel like the general public is a bit more open to video game movies, I think, as long as they're done right. In this case, it's not done right, but I don't know, maybe it could still do well for people who are just like who originally they were scared of video game movies, but now they're willing to take chances with these movies. But I don't know. It's I wouldn't call it a pro or a con. It's just somewhere in the middle. Yeah, back to pros. It's the only big-ish movie coming out this weekend, and there's that. I mean, its only competition really is Wonder Woman 1984, but that has an HBO Max release too, which makes things complicated. Monster Hunter is just theatrical only, so I don't think the I don't think the competition is going to be too severe because of that HBO Max deal and whatnot. So yeah, I guess that's a pro. Uh, well, it's an action movie. Action movies have done okay during the pandemic. Unhinged, Honest Thief, those did all right. So this feels like it's a bit more ridiculous. It's a bit more um non-realistic, but it's definitely a turn your brain off kind of movie. And that has been proven to be popular in the past. I mean, look at the Transformers movies. They're most of them are terrible, but they made money until they didn't with the fifth one. But for the longest time, any movie that's considered turn your brain off can do can be successful. All right, that's it with the pros. I can't think of anything else. Cons. Uh, the director of this movie is Paul W.S. Anderson. He is the man responsible for the Resident Evil movies that came out like a long time ago. There's 6 of them. And those movies aren't very good at all. In fact, most people would consider them terrible. In fact, personally, I don't even consider those adaptations. I consider them fan fiction because you have, I mean, the main character of that movie, Alice, she's basically an OC, more or less. Actually, not more or less. She's exactly an OC, an original character who had nothing to do with the games, who's just they just put her in there, and she just takes up everything. And nobody liked those movies. Even though they were successful, they have a bad reputation among, and the reason why the video game movie genre is so reviled in the first place. Well, there's there's that. There's Super Mario Brothers movie. There's Street Fighter the movie. There's what else? Assassin's Creed the movie. That one was really bad. Uh, etc. etc. But yeah, the Resident Evil movies are not very good. So if those aren't good, what makes you think this is gonna be good? Like, come on now, use a brain. We all got brains. We gotta use them. So and this also stars Mila Jovovich, who was the main character in the Resident Evil movie. So this doesn't even feel like Monster Hunter. It feels like Resident Evil 7 with just a couple of plot changes, and that's it. Gosh. So yeah, con number one. The director's Paul W.S. Anderson. He made those terrible Resident Evil movies. That's an automatic red flag. I guess con number two is that, well, I already mentioned the whole video game movie curse. It still exists. It has not been erased yet. I mean, Pikachu and Sonic have done a good job removing some of the stink from the genre, but it's still there. And this is definitely belongs in the stink pile. Oh, in the same pile as Warcraft, Assassin's Creed, Hitman Agent 47. That's a really bad one. What else? I'm trying to think of other ones. Well, the Resident Evil movies. There's Max Payne. That one was bad. Prince of Persia wasn't too bad. Well, the Uwe Boll movies. Alone in the Dark, Blood Rain, House of the Dead. Those are just trash is too nice of a word to describe those movies. But yeah, the video game curse is still there, so I feel like that's gonna make a lot of people scared to watch this because they don't want to see their favorite game series get butchered on the big screen, and judging by from what I've heard, yeah, that's exactly what happened. They butchered the source material. What a shock. So yeah, that's definitely a con. Uh, Another con, pandemic. Do I need to explain this? I've explained it every time since I've restarted these prediction videos. But yeah, I mean, it's not even opening that wide anyway. It's only in like 1,700 theaters, which is super low in the grand scheme of things. So even if its chances of making money are really low, lower than they already were. And I highly doubt, before this pandemic started, I doubt it would have done all that great in the first place because of all the reasons I previously said. But yeah, I think the pandemic just made it worse, just like everything else in life. So yeah, that's definitely a con. Uh, that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. So overall, opening weekend, I'm going to say, oh yeah, I forgot to mention this is a studio movie. It's not from some mid-level indie, small scale studio. This is from Sony. They haven't released a movie in a long time. So, yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention that whole controversy. How could I forget? Like, I think it was a week or so ago. There was this big controversy that happened where there was like a line in the movie. Like, this was playing in China. There was a line in the movie that was apparently so offensive that it got the movie pulled from China screens. They end up editing that line out in the American version. So there's that. I highly doubt that line would have made the movie any better, to be honest. I feel like the movie was doomed the second it was greenlit. But yeah, just wanted to add that in there. So yeah, I'm gonna say opening weekend $3 million. I think that's fair. Yeah, I think that's a decent enough goal. Overall, that's a bit harder because it is the Christmas season, and the Christmas season is historically known for movies having really long legs. I mean, look at Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle and Greatest Showman. Those are two recent excellent examples of that. So I think the holidays will help it. It won't just crash and burn immediately. But I think it'll probably end up around 10, 15 million total, and then that'll be it. And then no one will ever talk about it ever again unless they want to put it, in the list of worst video game movies. I don't know how bad it really is. I have no intention of seeing it, but I really don't think it's good. Just by looking at the portfolio of Mr. Paul W.S. Anderson, I don't think this is good. This is a good movie. So, yeah. Uh yeah, what well, that's it for Monster Hunter. Stupid ads, get off my screen. I don't want to see ads. I see enough ads on YouTube as it is. Leave, leave. Ugh. Okay, this website wants to be stubborn. Ugh. Okay, finally. Sorry about that. So next up, we're doing Fatale, and then we have 4 movies to go over for Christmas: News of the World, Pinocchio, Promising Young Woman, and Wonder Woman 1984. And then that's it for 2020. That'll be it. Just 5 more videos, and then it's over. So yeah. Anywho, yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, share the whole drill. Want to check out more videos like this? I got playlists on the homepage. I've covered every 2020 movie that's made it to theaters that was a wide release. All the movies from January, February, the few in March, the few in uh, August, September, October, November, and now December. You want to check out all those movies and my thoughts on them, go right ahead. You want to check out, I have 2 other playlists. I have box office recaps where I go over, the box office results for any particular month, but because 2020's been 2020, I've had to change it up. I've now do double recaps. I recently did one on October, November. I will do one on December and January, but that won't come till February, so let's stay tuned for that. Also got the canceled series that goes over all the movies that were supposed to come out around this time, but didn't. Like Death on the Nile was supposed to come out this weekend. That didn't happen. I think Coming to America 2, that didn't happen. Dune didn't happen. So that just makes me sad. And that's a lost opportunity right there. Talk about Dune. That would have been great, but nope. Can't do that. So, yeah, you want to check out all those canceled episodes, go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.